Hi everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from whenever you're watching this recording from or whenever you're calling in from. We are going to be looking at the week's activities um, uh, on Forex. We'll first of all identify look at what news releases that we have. We had an NFP last week, but again, NFP used to be really volatile, but these days, it's just really been, you know, a dud, as I like to call it. No, we didn't really see much impact. One would expect NFP to, really drop the market or something, but we didn't really see anything like that. If you look at this, normally what we used to see was things like this giant move, but these days, see, or we get this was even one of the better ones. This one here was even one of the better ones, So this is NFP, by the way, but it's usually used to be bigger than that. If you go back into the past, you would see a lot of moves like that, major moves. Okay, again, I don't want to waste our time. So first of all, go straight to the forex and the news that we have for the week. As you can see, it's not a lot of high impact news. In fact, this week might be one of the slowest weeks I've ever seen. Since it starts out with a lot of bank holidays. I think you guys in the US would have some bank holiday as well. Yes, there's a bank holiday in Japan as well, and even in Canada. So Monday, Tuesday, market's just going to be slow. I think we start seeing the first major impact news on Wednesday with the GBP, and then also same day with USD. We'll see some ones on Thursday as well, but basically we don't really see. I'm not expecting there to be major news releases for this week. So let's just see how it goes. Let me filter this out and have just the impact news. This is how I do it. Some of you that see my charts. So that is all we have for this week. So let's see how it goes. We may just see some major moves. Like I said last week, that we would probably start seeing some correction because we started seeing some major moves in the market. We'll start seeing some correction this week. But whatever be the case, we would trade if we find good setups. I'm going to only look at some of the high probability trades, the ones I know that may offer good opportunities for us to take a trade. Now look at this there, which we started out looking at this, but I think it was somewhere when it was somewhere around here, and we saw this channel building. As you can see, it broke out and we knew that it was going to break out and retest. And that's why we said here that if it retests, let me see. Yeah, we said, let me look at it on the higher time frame. So we're looking at it that it will come here. There's a note I wrote here, I can't find it anymore. Okay, yeah, I remember I lost my chart. So if it comes back here, it's going to retest and probably jump, and probably our first target will be somewhere around here. And if it breaks above that, we'll be seeing this level view on my other chart. Okay, this is it. This is where I had that chart. So rejection, if we get a retest at this point, that we're going to get a 100 pip move, which is what happened. Exactly. So it came back retested. We saw a rejection on the monthly, like I showed you. And what did we see? It brought the market back down, and there was that move to the upside. How many pips from where that's 420 pips move to the upside. So that was a good call. So right now we also said that if this breaks above, we may be seeing a major move to the upside close to 1,000 pips. If that keeps happening, why did we say that? Because of this area. If you look left, there's nothing else on this side. So this is our 500 pips because of this move here, because of this level. So we're still expecting this to keep going to that 1.8 100 level, which will be this one. So if it breaks above that, then we should be seeing this level because there's nothing else here. Even if I go back, see, even if I go back, the next place you have is this guy here, is the same level. And if it breaks above that, this is the level we're looking at. I think I'm just going to keep that one there. I don't think it's going to go that far. So even though it does go that far, but what's happening? Okay, I think I have it on black. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so that will be our level. Oh, it's the same level, isn't it? Yeah, it's the same level. It's the same level. Good, good, good. So that's our 1.888 level that we're looking at. If it breaks above that, so be on the lookout for that level. Now, but right now, I'm actually expecting a correction. I'm actually expecting like a pullback. I expect price to pull back into this level. If you see my chart, I have created two levels for it. The price I expect it to pull back into this level. I expect price to come back into this level before the bounce. But then again, what may happen, it may just pull back down here also. So there are two levels I'm really looking at for price. I could decide to put sell limits there, you know, put sell limits there to take me back to this, that 530 pips that I am waiting to complete. I think I'm going to drop to the smaller time frame so I can get that. So yeah, that's the area I'm looking at for price to do that. It's not refusing to do. Okay. Because I'm on the higher time frame. So if that doesn't happen, I mean, if it goes below that, then we're looking at this level. I think let me just delete this. Right again. So I'm looking at this level. So that level, and then if it breaks below, then it means it's going to come to this level before. But everything below that, I'm not looking to buy anymore. I'm looking to sell because I can sell back to this level. So what we do on the smaller time frame is just to just delete that so it's not messy. Just look for that pullback. On the smaller time frame, we'll just drop down to the smaller time frame. Just look at opportunities. Now, if you can see, look at what's happening. Let me drop down to the 1 hour time frame and then reduce this. If I can see an impulse pullback, impulse pullback, impulse pullback, impulse pullback. So right now we're expecting a pullback. So for this one, this pullback may just come all the way down here before moving. But if you want to do a counter trend trading, what you just need to do is to wait for it to break and retest this. So it means you have to drop down to your smaller time from your 15 minutes maybe, and then you can trade it to that level for 30 to 40 pips. I mean, say, oh, okay, even up to 60 pips if you choose to trade it. But again, I try not to trade a lot of inverse, what's it called now? Against trade the trend. So, but if you're going to trade against the trend, just wait to see that break below, and then retest and then take it down there, But these are the levels we're looking for price to bounce off. So you can decide to do that counter trend trading, or just let it do what it's supposed to do, and then when it starts coming back up, you can jump in and keep going up. But anything below this level, like I said, I'm looking for price to come all the way back to this level, or possibly back into that the top of that channel. Yep. And anything below that, you can, of course, we're taking it back down. So that's NZD, Euro NZD. The next one, high impact trade, is this one that we're looking at since last week. Remember where we started from? I think we started somewhere here, and we saw that double bottom forming here, and we're expecting that to happen. And sure enough, it came down to that level and then jumped up. So right now it's still going up. I'm still expecting this to go all the way back to the top here. So if it breaks below, if it breaks above, what am I expecting? We're expecting a pullback. I remember what I said, that this week is a pullback week. I'm expecting this to me actually come back to this level, or maybe just bounce off and then come back to this level before continuing to the upside. But for this week, I'm going to be quite careful so I don't get into the wrong side of the trade. I'm expecting pullbacks on most of these trades. So if this goes up again, keeps going, then I know that I'm going to look for another entry here or another entry here, and then final TP somewhere here. But if it breaks above that, then maybe it might just go back to the top of that what's it called now, that trend line or channel, but your likely areas will be this. Don't know why this is yellow, should be black. Your likely areas will be that. Why? Because support, resistance, broke above that. But if it breaks above that, yeah, another level around here, supports, resistance. Yep. So this could go all the way back here, or go all the way back here, or go all the way back here. Possibilities. Yep. But again, I'm really looking at this to continue to the upside, so I won't even bother looking at the downside. I'll just allow the pullbacks to occur and then look for entries to keep trading to the upside. Yep, Euro USD. Now, I like what this guy is forming here. Yep, I saw something similar. Let me see. Okay, I can't find it anymore. It's fine. So now look at what is happening here. There's that is it expanded triangle they call it? That's impulse, then price did that, this went up again, then came down to the bottom of this triangle. So now two things is possible. This, because of that structure, this was a structure that I identified before. Price could just, I know I said this might happen, so, and if a rejection is happening here, this could well just come all the way back to the downside here. That could happen. Break of structure, retest, but I don't want to trust it because of this thing here. I came all the way, broke it, and one would think it was going to keep going down, but what did it do? It retraced, came back into that strong support. So I believe this is a strong support. So this could probably be a fake out. So if this doesn't hold, doesn't keep coming down, then it's going to break above. So if it breaks above this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for a retest, retest to occur. Then I'm trading it down to the top, up to the top of that triangle, expanded triangle. Let me see. Let me drop it to the smaller time frame. So already you can see that bullish engulfing. Pull back. One would have entered a trade here, but then I can't even take a trade because that's a key support. Just let it play out. Whatever it wants to do, if it breaks above, then we can start looking for a trading opportunity. Let's go even lower. Yep, see that move retracement, and it's also doing like it wants to reject it and keep coming, but it's all messy. So just wait for break above, or you could even draw a trend line here. Draw a trend line here. And then if it breaks below that, then you look for another entry just for a small move to the downside. About 30, 40 pips. You can take that. So you can just do that if you want to trade that. Just want to scalp that. So just have a trend line here and then use that as your guide. So as to trade this downside. So what are you looking for? You're looking for that break. You're looking for that pullback, and then you're looking for that to continue to the downside. Yep, so same thing here. Now this one, I drew this, somebody was asking me to look at this earlier, so I just drew it, but I don't really trust it. This is a shark. I don't trade sharks, but who knows, it may just happen. It may just come all the way down to this 113, and then go back up. We'll just see how it goes, but my level is still there. The strong support that I created for it is still there. Again, if price breaks above that, you can see a retest, expect a retest, and then jump to the upside. If that doesn't happen, then it's going to break below and then come back to this 1.1300 that we created. Yep, so that's that one. Euro JPY. This has been a major move for us. Been looking at it since. That's a butterfly, by the way, and you can see it's coming down. It's not at the 38 yet, but again, not every one of us trade patterns. So if you look at this, you can see price. What did price do? Price broke above that trend line and retested and then jumped to the upside, got to that level. I think that's a key. Let me see on the higher time frame what that has. Okay, it's really nothing. It's just a key. Another resistance. Excuse me. So another resistance. So now what are you seeing? So a bearish engulfing candle, and then price started dropping. So we may see a pullback, because see that giant move, we may just see a pullback before it continues to the downside. But whatever be the case, we would only trade. It's not something I want to take at the moment because it doesn't offer me great opportunity. But if I'm looking at this pattern now, it seems it needs to keep coming down, but I just feel it needs to retrace first, do a pullback before continuing to the downside. So I won't give this a look at all. Now I know Didi was looking at USD card earlier. So on the higher time frame, let me see, is there anything that I created for it? Okay, I had this. Okay, I think I had this coming on the higher time frame. So expecting this to continue up, see all patterns needs to come to the D level and then continue to the downside. If and only if this is a valid pattern. Yeah, let me see what kind of pattern this is. I think this should be a cipher pattern. Yeah, this is a cipher pattern. Yeah, cipher pattern. So if this is a valid cipher pattern, then we'll expect this to continue to this level and possibly may push a little bit more to the upside before dropping to the downside. If this is a valid pattern, if not, then it may just continue to the downside. But that, whatever be the case, we can always find something to trade here. Because if you look at this, let me see, you can see that move and then that trend line, how it respected that trend line. So what we may see happen is for price to come back to that trend line and then bounce again, like it's been doing here. Come back to that trend line and then bounce again. Yep. Or if that doesn't happen, then price is going to drop, break that, pull back, then probably either pull or you can say that it may actually come all the way down to this support level, because that's a key support as well because of those moves. Yep, it may do that and then drop, retest that support, and then you can see it come back to this trend line. Of course, what happens if that happens, if it breaks below that, it's definitely coming down. Almost missed that. Definitely coming down to this level. Yep. Yeah, but I'm more biased to the upside. I'm more biased to the upside. So look at that. So if price keeps coming down, then that's that level that we created. It may just come back to test it. But let me see what it is on the higher time frame. Yeah, that's the bottom line, the bottom of that pattern. It may just come back there for the bounce that you expect. Yep, to that upside. That may happen. For that, see, that's possible double top that may be forming. If that doesn't happen, then it's going to come down to that 1.27 that is going. But I am not really looking to trade this one. I would only trade this one if I can see that move back to my D. I'd rather wait for it to get to D for a more accurate move. Which other thing? I think I kind of drew a channel on it some other time. The other time, but I didn't really trust that channel. That's why I didn't consider it anymore. Let's see. Yeah, it wasn't very quite perfect, so that's why I let it go. Because as you can see, if I wanted to take it on this side, it means all of this is not going to be considered. Probably may be considered as a fake move. Yep. So, well, can still look at it. That could be a guide for some people. So if you still want to look at that, then in that case, it means from where it is now, where you'll be looking at this level as your TP, the top of this channel as your TP. So you just have to be careful. It's not really a valid channel for me because I don't like the way it is, but yeah, I could just consider that as an opportunity. As another trading strategy, but I would rather you look for a much more higher probability trade, the one that gives you better opportunity, better trading opportunity. Even at that, this week, like I said, it's going to be a slow week because of the news releases that we don't have enough news releases, so volatility, liquidity is not going to be quite low, so trade carefully, trade gently, don't over trade, and whatever questions you have, I'll be very glad to answer. I'm going to post some of the chats on the platform. I'm going to do much more in-depth analysis on some other trades, and some even the ones I've looked at. I'm going to look at them again, and whatever changes, I'll post it on the platform. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic trading week. God bless.